Let's have a conversation about the game. Currently, I'm not at home, but as you see, we have to make do of where we are to talk about the beautiful game that we all love. So let's have a conversation about the game going into the weekend. This weekend, we go away to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace. That's our opponent for this weekend. And if we look at the last five results, Crystal Palace has, the last five times we faced each other, Crystal Palace has beaten us three times. So they've definitely had the better side of us the last five games. We've only won one, we've tied one, and Crystal Palace won the remaining three games. So we're gonna have a conversation about them. But if this is your first time on Red Side Rants, please subscribe. And as we do as usual, we're gonna give our thoughts going into the game. We're gonna talk about Crystal Palace. We're gonna talk about Manchester United, and then we're gonna talk about our expected lineup, predicted lineup, and then we'll do the score prediction. What the score would be. Okay, so before we talk about the game, I want us to have a little conversation about the last game. Now that the noise has settled down, the dust has settled down, we're kind of a little bit over it. I'm not yet over it because trust me, that one hit me hard. Like I said, I don't know if that game or the Grimsby game was worse, but that one definitely hit me hard. So, but now that it has kind of settled a little bit, let's have a conversation about it. So after the game, a lot of people were like, there's nothing to learn from this game. There was nothing to take away from this game. And I kind of felt the same, but I sat back and I looked at the game and I kind of tried to see what went wrong, you know. But if you ask me, one thing I would say is that from that game, we can definitely see how important Matheus Cunha is for the system to work. He is very important. And a lot of us did not see it that way because what went through our mind is, how is Manchester United not beating 10-man Everton? Because normally you would be expected to beat 10-man Everton, and part of that is down to the manager because he should have tweaked his tactics to fit what the situation we found ourselves in at that moment, but he did nothing. But one thing I'm gonna say is that Matheus Cunha was definitely missed from that game, because when we look at when he's on the pitch, right, he's the only one who makes something happen in the center of the pitch. He draws attention. He attracts players towards him. In that way, it creates spaces for other players. It creates spaces for Mbeumo. It creates spaces for Bruno to play that ball. It creates spaces for Ahmad to, you know. So what he does is he's the one who keeps possession. He's the only player who can drop deep, pick up the ball, and drive, covering 20, 30 yards and take us up the pitch. He wins us fouls in those important areas. But because Cunha was not there, what we found ourselves doing most of the time was playing the ball around an Everton side who were almost impossible to break. I doubt if we kept on playing for the next 2 hours, I don't think we would have scored against Everton. Those guys were just right there in the low block, and there was nobody to penetrate it. That was where we missed Cunha. Because with a profile like Cunha, he would pick up that ball. He would take matters into his own hands. And we always say Cunha is selfish, Cunha is this, Cunha is that. That is what he does. That is the type of player he is. When things get tough, he picks up the ball. He takes matters into his own hands. He wins us fouls near the box, but there was nobody to do that. So we ended up finding ourselves playing in crosses that did not really help. So that is how important Cunha is for the system. That is how important Cunha is. We don't have any other player who can help us break down low block defenses, who can help us keep the ball in tight spaces apart from Cunha, and we definitely missed him. So for everybody who still says Cunha was not an important signing, I think that the game against Everton said everything. It said everything about the role Cunha plays in the team. It said everything about how important he is for this team. Okay. But then we're going to go on to talk about the game, and I'm going to be starting off with Crystal Palace, right? Because Crystal Palace are a very tough side. They're a very tough side to beat. They just recently won the FA Cup, FA Cup champions, Community Shield champions. So they are a very tough side. They've had Liverpool by their balls. They've, even us, like I said, the last 5 games, we've lost 3. We've only won 1 and we've tied 1 against Crystal Palace. So going into this game, it is a very tough game. And also, they are a side who plays a similar system to us, if not the same system. So how does this work? What kind of tactical battle is this gonna look like? Is Amorim gonna come out on top, or is Olivier Glasner gonna come out on top? And that's someone who we were also linked with at some point when the rumors about Amorim getting sacked was like getting intensified. He was someone whose name kept on coming up about him replacing Amorim. And I think if the news comes back tomorrow that Amorim is probably going to get sacked, we're still going to have some rumors around him about picking up the Manchester United job. So going into this game, like I said, they played a similar system like us. How is that tactical battle going to look like? But because for me, I just think that Crystal Palace are one step ahead of us, if not many steps even ahead of us when it comes to playing the system. They understand it, they execute it, they do it well. They do it well. And then we go to play at Selhurst Park. We're not good playing away from home. We're not good playing away from home. It is not looking good when we play away from home. So how is that game gonna look like for us? One more thing is Crystal Palace, they just recently lost their Europa League match. I know Europa League and Premier League does not really matter, but they just lost their Europa League match against Strasbourg. They would want to get back to winning ways. So it is going to be a very, very tough game for us. It is going to be a very, very, very tough game for us. But then it remains to be seen how we come up against Crystal Palace, because like I said, one thing, they play the system we play, so they definitely and they understand it better than we do, so they will definitely know how to defend against us. We play away from home. Are we gonna have to concede possession? Are we gonna have to give Crystal Palace a possession and settle for defending and hitting them on a counter? I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I know it's Crystal Palace ground. If anything, they're gonna be going toe to toe with us if we want to keep possession. But if we want to sit back, it might also not be a good day for us, because we will be facing so much. And right now, the players are at a point where it's like that confidence has kind of dropped, especially after the game against Everton, losing to 10-man Everton. I don't care what anyone says. As a player, it's going to affect you. As a player, you're going to go back home and you're going to sit and think like, maybe we should have had more from this game. Maybe we should, not that we should have had more because you didn't do enough to deserve more, but maybe we should have done more to get something out of this game, which they did not do. They did not do. And it is always important that you win your games, because when you win your games, you carry that confidence, you carry that momentum, you carry that that joy from winning the game into the next game. But that will not be the case going into this game. How is that going to affect the players? Can we bounce back? The fact that we're not winning away from home, the fact that we're coming off the back of 3 games with no wins, because like Amorim said, we had, prior to this, it was 5 games unbeaten. Now it is 3 games without a win. That's just how quick football changes. You have to win your games. You cannot keep getting ties, getting like a tie from this game, a tie from this game, and you think, no, you have to win your games, because 5 games unbeaten quickly becomes 3 games without a win, like it has. So we're going to ask ourselves those questions. How does it affect us? The key thing we're going to be looking forward to is that tactical battle, the 3-4-2-1 formation, coming up against the same formation. And one more thing I'm going to talk about is Adam Wharton, right? Adam Wharton. We've played Brighton, where we've watched Carlos Baleba. We've played Nottingham Forest, where we've watched Elliot Anderson. Now we're going on to play Crystal Palace, where we will be watching Adam Watson, because that's another player we're linked with. So it is gonna be another audition. It is gonna be another audition. So I'm just calling that out so you guys can keep an eye on him. And then after the game, maybe you can have your thoughts about if that's a player you'd want to see in the Manchester United shirt, if that's a target, a midfield target you want to see Manchester United go after, or would you rather Manchester United go after some other candidates? But yeah, that's one player to keep an eye on going into this clash. So I'm gonna go on to talk about, please, as we go through, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have something else, like if we have different opinions, let me know in the comment section. But then I'm gonna go on to talk about the formation, because, or let me say the lineup, because the formation is always gonna stay the same. The lineup, I want to talk about lineup because that was one key talking point from the last game. The fact that Ahmad was playing as a left attacking midfielder, I don't like it one bit. I don't want to see it. I never want to see it. He doesn't do anything when he plays in that position. He's better off on the right side with Mbeumo. If that's the only side that can function, let's play through that side while we because I think the main issue on the left side is that we don't have a competent left wing back. So maybe we can just keep on making use of our right wing back and our right attacking midfielder until we can get a competent left wing back and have our left side functioning as much as our right side. But instead of killing both sides, it's better to have one side functioning. So the fact that Ahmad played as a left attacking midfielder, the fact that we had Dogu, we had Shaw, we had Delete, we had Euro. That's 5 defenders playing against Everton. Where is the creativity supposed to come from? And you have 2 midfielders. There's no way you can create anything. It was 100% on the manager. The players did not do enough, but the manager did not help them do anything. So we have to talk about the lineup. For me, when it comes to the lineup in goal, I would like to see it stay the same. Center elements in goal, the back 3. I think I still want it to be the same. I like consistency. I think those guys work well together. Euro, Delete, Shaw, stay as the back 3. And then in midfield, Bruno and Casemiro, I think they just pick themselves. Those are 2 people we cannot really change. They just pick themselves. We don't have better options. We don't have options in midfield. But for our wing backs, right wing back, Ahmad. Now the question is left wing back. With the game Dogu had on Monday, do you bring him back into the side or do you put in Dalot? And I think that's where you go, okay, Dalot, it is now your turn to take your chance. Because I think that's just what's going on. When one person messes up, you take him out and bring in the next person. So this is where we can go, Dalot, come back in. And now, the big question, Matheus Cunha. Because the news came out that he had a concoction and the concoction protocol is being followed. So we don't know yet if he's going to be available. We don't know yet. But I pray God and I hope he is available because, like I said, I think he is very important for our side to function. I would love to see a front 3 of Mbeumo, Cunha, and Mason Mount, because those guys can absolutely torment your defense when it comes to pressing. They can win those balls quick up the pitch and score. But then if you have Mbeumo, Mount, and then you have Xerxes, he slows down the attack. Like, he's good. His link-up play is good, but he slows it down. And he's just big up top. He doesn't do a hold-up play. You know, he doesn't win area duels that much. So it's like you're just playing with a person up front you're just playing with a man up front just for playing with the man. Like, he's not offering that much. He's not helping that much in your game plan. So I would absolutely love to see a front 3 of Cunha, Mbeumo, and Mount if he is fit, because it now boils down to the fitness. It now boils down to if the concoction protocol was if it was observed and they think that he can play on with the game. But if not, I think we're likely going to be seeing a front three of CUNHA, not CUNHA, mbeumo, Mount, and Xerxes, which I don't like. I don't like. But Licha was on the bench against Everton. I understand Amorim not giving him any minutes, especially in a game like that. I just think it was the right thing to do. Also, we had some academy players on the bench. I was thinking maybe he was gonna give them some minutes. He didn't. Still his decision. I get it. Even though sometimes you can just throw on the academy players and let them do their thing. You never know. That's where in situations like that are where stars are born. But yeah, let's hope that this weekend maybe Licha can get some minutes. We can get to see him in a Manchester United jersey once more. I absolutely love him and I miss watching him play. So I hope we can see him in the Manchester United jersey this weekend. And hopefully maybe we can see one or two of the academy players have their debut. You know, it's always a good thing when the players have their academy debut. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you would change from the starting 11, if anything. And lastly, my score prediction. My score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Let me know yours in the comment section and see you after the game.